Hello, everybody. It's me again. Amazing, I know. Alright, so when you first join the server or make your own world, this is the first menu you are going to see. It is going to pop up. It's going to be blue. It's going to be wonderful. This is how you pick your starter Pokemon. It is who you are going to first have, and it is who you are going to begin with, and probably keep for the entire time. Not that you have to, but most people tend to. They are arranged in 3 rows here. The first row being the main element being grass type, and then water type, and then fire type. And then vertically, you have their different generations 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 8, I believe, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You are free to pick any single one that you so choose. It is more difficult to get any of them later, but not impossible, so don't think by picking one you are locking yourself out of any other choice. This is just who you want to start with. For this video, why not? Let's go with good old Chimchar. Chimchar's a fun dude. Actually, you know what? I'm a Cyndaquil fan. Let's get Cyndaquil. Once you click who you want, you can feel free to move around a bit. You're going to hit begin your adventure, and you are going to go into the world. It's going to flash a few bits, blah, blah, blah. I'm in creative mode just to help kind of explain things. Let me get that out of the way. Okay. So, very first thing you're going to want to do, I should have done this with the mod pack, but I didn't. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Ignore the ratata. But you are going to want to hit escape, go to your options. You are going to want to go to controls. And then you are going to want to hit this little key button. Type in R. Right here where it says inventory sorting. I would click that and then hit escape and just make it not have any keybind. That is going to be important for later on, but we will get back to it. Because now, the first thing we are going to want to do is, after you look around and get used to it, once you're ready to start engaging with the Pixelmon mod, which I imagine you'll want to do quite quickly, I recommend opening your inventory. It will look more like this. And over here, you can see your party of Pokemon. You can have up to 6 at a time. I'm going to be going into pretty good depth during this video, so it might be a bit longer, but some people don't have really any Pokemon or Pixelmon experience, so I'm just going to go ahead and explain quite a lot of it while I can. Ignore this menu for now. So you are going to see on here, these are your Pixelmon or your Pokemon. It's interchangeable. You can have up to 6 at once going down on the left here, and here is the item they are holding. If you right click on them, you can see their name, and it pops up 3 things. If we go to summary, it pulls up a whole bunch of information. Don't worry about most of it. This status just means, hey, they're okay. You can see right here, they are a fire type. Eventually they can get little bits and ribbons. We can ignore that for now, and you probably won't have this menu. If you want to name them, you're welcome to do so by going right here, hitting this R, and you can type in any name you want. This little dude, we'll name him, I don't know, I'm bad at names. Hello, Dan. Alright, and now you see his name is Dan here, his name is Dan here, it's all good. This button right here, you're not going to want to click. It just makes it so if you want them not to be able to level at all, you can, but I recommend ignoring it completely and hitting no. It's more for challenges. Uh, Moving on, if you go over here, you can see their moves. They can have up to 4 at a time. As they level up, which you can see their level is right here, as they level up, they will get more and more moves. If in here, you can go to any time and you can see what moves they have. If you highlight a move, it will say down here their power, which is how strong the move tends to be, its accuracy, which is a chance to hit, and what type of damage it does, physical or special. That usually refers to it being either a physical. It's different types of damage between physical and special. It's a bit more nitty gritty, but it has to do, most Pokemon are either better at physical or special attacks, which are their stats right here. It Don't worry too much about it if you're just getting started. If you know what it means, then you already know. PP is how many times you can use the move before you heal the Pokemon. That's pretty much it for this menu. The very last one we're going to look at is their stats, which, as I said before, their happiness usually isn't important. Awful to say, but that's the truth of it. Sometimes it's important. You'll know if it is. Nature affects, it raises one stat and lowers the other. And here are their main stats. HP equals health, attack, and special attack are kind of 2 sides of a coin. Defense and special defense are the same thing. Attack and special attack being related to how much damage they do. Defense and special defense, how much damage they stop. And then speed is how fast they move, which usually determines your who gets to attack first during a fight. Very fast last thing is down here in the bottom left. You can see original trainer. That's whoever caught the Pokemon, and then the growth is what size they are. So mine is enormous, so it's a bit bigger than other ones. Now we can get on to the actual cool things, now that that boring nitty-gritty is out of the way. And why we changed that R key before on the inventory is because R is the main key you're going to be using to send out your Pokemon. So if you hit R, you can go ahead and toss them out. And so mine is bigger than normal, hence why he's a little bit of a chonker. You can see Proteo, that's the owner, that's me. And then because we renamed him Dan, there he is. This little man is just kind of good to go. If you move about, he'll follow you. Vaguely. They're not always the smartest, but they usually keep a pretty tight leash. And that's pretty much how you send them out. You can leave them out as long as you want. Once you get more, you can even have more than one out at a time. Nothing's going to stop that. The useful bit about throwing them out, however, is fighting, which is obviously a big part of Pokemon. Let's see. My dude's only level 5, so honestly, he can't take on a whole lot of bits. He can't take on much. Here we go, level 6. He can probably take on a level 6. So what you're going to want to do is, if this thing wants to stop flying around, is if you see one, if you hit R and you throw your Pokemon out at something, you will go into a battle. Inside here, you can use your mouse wheel to zoom your camera in and out, and right-click to rotate. And that will let you kind of just get a better view of the fight. Oh, sorry, a lot of talking. Lots of explaining. Alright. How Pokemon fights work is it is turn-based, meaning that you are each, both you and the computer, are going to pick a move, and then depending on the speed stat and other factors that don't matter right now, one Pokemon will hit first, and then the other one will do whatever you decide, and so on. Right here, you have your 4 moves. As we saw before, I only have 2 out of the 4 moves, so they only show these 2. I can either choose to use one right here. So say I wanted to tackle, I could hit this tackle button, and it's going to go ahead and wait. Dan, use tackle. And if we notice, then their health ticks down. You can see that the enemy is up here, their level, their health, their picture, all that good jazz. And the Pipdove used Leer, which ended up... Oh, what? It went by very fast. So you can keep fighting until one of you win. When we are going to go ahead and do that really fast. So we can see that the Pipdove used Leer, which decreased my defense. Used it again. So we're just going to... If you click here, you can make it go through faster. I'm going to hope that I can win this, and if I don't, it's going to be a little embarrassing. First few levels, they can be a little tough until you start getting your level up. I might not win this. Because it got a good hit there. So we are going to show something. Over here, you have 3 more buttons. Button 1 is your bag. You can go into your bag, you can grab different items and use them. We will get back to this later. The next handy-dandy button you have is going to be Pokemon. If you have more than one Pokemon, you can switch them here. We will get back to this as well later. And the final one is this little button right here. This is a useful button that when you can't win a fight, you can run away. Well, there's a chance that you run away. See, I actually failed to run away there, and then I died. Okay, I guess we will move on to the next important thing. I had this later on the list, but I think it's more important to explain now. Healing! Sometimes your Pokemon dies, and it's unfortunate. Sometimes you fight things that are stronger than you. Oh well. There are a few different ways to heal your Pokemon. The main and most common way used to heal your Pokemon is going to be using something called a healer, which is this little machine right here. It is made using 4 aluminum plates, 4 iron ingots, and a diamond. I am doing this all just, I have a list of what I'm going to cover. Just a little behind the scenes. I have a list of what I'm going to cover, but I didn't actually, this is my first take, so we're just going to see how it goes, and hopefully it's not too overwhelming. If not, if so, I apologize. Feel free to ask me questions. I'm sure everyone who knows about it is willing to help you out. Ugh. Okay, so as we said, we need aluminum. Aluminum, you get that. Aluminum. You are going to find that in the ground as a ore. You are going... Oh, wait, no, actually, sorry. Aluminum is weird. It's actually bauxite ore. This bauxite ore. It looks a lot like iron ore. You'll just find it in the ground. If you go ahead and mine it up and you put it in a furnace, you will get yourself aluminum ingots. Actually, here, I can show that. Why not? I'm a good... instruction maker. So we're going to need a furnace, we're going to need some coal, and we're going to need that bauxite. The next thing we're going to need, if you notice the healer, it didn't take aluminum, it took the aluminum plates. In order to get those plates, we're going to need a few things. We are going to need to make ourselves a special anvil. This Pixelmon anvil right here, you just make it with iron. And you are also going to need a hammer. We'll just use a stone hammer, because I think everyone should be able to make a stone hammer. Or at that point, we'd probably have iron. Hammer, very easy to make. If you go ahead and you put your anvil down, you grab yourself some aluminum, you right click right here, it's going to throw that on there, you take your thing and you left click like you're trying to break it. If you hold down left click, it will slowly hammer out, and you'll eventually get yourself a plate. And if you look at there, we have one of our 4 plates. You can do that 4 times, boom, you have everything you need. You can then go ahead and get your diamonds and iron, and you have yourself a healer. Boom. You right click that, Pokemon goes in it, and it heals. I know, shocking. However, that's a little bit. You don't want to have to wait till you get a diamond to get a healer. That's a lot of work. We'll probably have one of these at spawn as well. I plan on setting that up, so you can also just walk back there, right click it, boom, you'll be healed right up. The other thing that I believe works is much simpler, and I should have explained it first, is you can just use a bed. You grab a bed, you go ahead and right click at it. I believe, I haven't actually tested this. Let's see, can I fight any of these things? Not in the pit of, because it messed me up. Rattata, they're usually low level. Oh, look at that, level 2, much better. Alright, back to combat. Notice all our moves are back as well if we hit tackle. This goes much easier. We're level 5, we shouldn't have tried to take something on those stronger than us. We're gonna go ahead and go through the fight. You can use other move. I have Leer, for example. Why not? I'll show it. It used Tail Whip, blah, blah, blah. You see little animation, so I'm going to use Leer. Rattata's defense was lower because I used Leer. You get a little animation as well. I didn't need to do that there, but I just wanted to show it off. Alright, so if we hit tackle, we'll go ahead and win the fight here. But sometimes your crit, which just makes you do more damage. It is a purely chance-based thing. And it will pull up this menu. Whenever you defeat things, they drop things because there's no normal mobs in this mod pack. You won't find zombies, you won't find any rabbits or cows. Everything you get is from defeating Pixelmon. So you are going to have to do the Pixelmon mod. You can left click to take an item, you can choose to take all, or you can drop them on the ground. I don't need rotten flesh, so I'm just going to drop it on the ground. It'll show up right there. Easy peasy. That is essentially all there is to battling. Let me check on my list. Next on my list is creating Pokeballs. We're going to go back to our anvil. We are going to create just the most basic Pokeball. So in order to create the most basic Pokeball, it's annoying because it has a little accent, but it's right here. Pokeball. In order to create this boy, we need a Pokeball lid, an iron base, or an aluminum base. I recommend using iron, but you can use either, and a stone button. In order to get that, we are going to need some aluminum. Or, no, we are going to need some iron. If we go ahead and look how to craft these bases, I just realized this is here, I should be using this. So we need an iron base, that's what we realized we need. Let me go ahead and use this. If I type in Pokeball here, yes, this is what we want. If you hit A while in the JEI menu, you can bookmark things over here to go back to quickly. So we need this Pokeball lid. If you notice, to make this, it's not listed. That's annoying, but we can see over here, Pokeball disc. In order to make a lid, you use discs. And if we go ahead and type in disc, you can see there's a whole bunch of them for each type of Pokeball. This basic one right here, it takes 3 of these cooked red apricorns. I know, a lot of explaining. This is a dense video, I'm sorry. Feel free to rewind, pause things, but it's a little bit of a complicated mod. You will see when wandering about, but I'm going to make it day. Time, set, day. Fantastic. These trees right here, these are called apricorn trees. If you right-click them, you'll get the little berry from on top of it. And we can use these later. You need to find certain colors to get what you want. So if you notice, for this Pokeball lid, we need red ones. So we can just keep searching till we find a tree. Like this is a black one here. They are not that uncommon. What are you? Oh, you're a berry. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just grab a red one from the menu. Red apricorn. And I'm also going to grab some bone meal. Where were we? I'm going to go ahead and test. What if we make it night? I thought you could use the bed to heal, but you might not be able to. Maybe you have to sleep. Okay, yes. If you sleep through the night, your Pokemon will go ahead and heal back to full health. Good to know. There's an easy way to do it. Ugh. Sorry about that. Okay. So, if you go ahead and find an apricorn, it's a pain to have to go. It would be a pain to have to go back to a tree every time you want a little bit and pick them up and all that. So what you can do is you can just grab an apricorn. You can right-click it. It will plant the tree. You can use bone meal, let it grow naturally, and it will grow into a big tree. And then you'll get apricorns. Easy. Very simple. We can then, if you notice, for the disc lid, we need them cooked. It's as easy as it sounds. You simply take this, you throw this in here, and you get yourself some cooked apricorns. We let it smelt all the way. There we go. We have cooked apricorns. Whew. Crafting. I want a crafting table. Last little bit, we need to make this disc. It's all coming together, I promise. So we have 3 cooked ones. We put them together in a line. And we get ourselves one of the... we get 5 lids. We're getting there. Next thing we need is the iron base. We get iron bases from iron discs. And it's made exactly the same way you make the tops, but out of iron or aluminum. It's up to you. You can either use iron, as I said, or you can use aluminum. They will do the exact same things, but you get less for aluminum. Whereas iron, you get 5. And the very last thing we need is buttons. Stone buttons, to be exact. So we will go ahead and grab ourselves some stone buttons. Hello? Oh, it's just called a button. Huh. Learn something new every day. Okay. So, these are flat right now. JEI doesn't understand why you can't just click right here, is because you have to hit it in a anvil, like we did with the plates before. And JEI doesn't understand that. So you're going to go ahead and right-click it on there. It will go ahead and go in the end. You can hold down left-click, as we said before. It will automatically, once you finish one, put the next one on. So just like that, we go ahead and did all 5, and so now we have 5 lids, and now we need our bases as well. So we're going to go ahead and right-click, and we're just going to use the hammer. The hammer will use durability if you're in survival mode, so you might need to replace it, but they last a good bit. You can enchant them with unbreaking. And maybe efficiency? I'm not actually sure. Experiment, find out. It's a mod pack, have fun. We're going to take our buttons, our lids, and our base. Boom, we have Pokeballs. Amazing. What you can do with Pokeballs is neat. You can just go ahead and right-click them, add a Pokemon. I'm trying to find one that's lower level. Level 10 Sentry, I'm a little worried about. Where's like another Rattata? It's the Pokespawn. You cannot do these commands. I'm in creative, so I am a cheater. You're level 19. Where's the low level boy? Why? Okay, so here's the Sentry. If you take this and you right-click at a Pokemon, you'll go ahead and throw it, and you'll miss just like that because you're bad. There we go. It'll go ahead and do a nice little animation, and we'll try to catch the Pokemon. However, the thing about Pokemon is, unless you get them lower health, they tend to break free pretty easily. So what you're going to want to do is go into the battle like we did before. It helps to aim kind of like at their shadow, is what I found. You'll get used to it the more you play. You can go ahead and what we're going to want to do is the lower their health is, the higher chance you have to catch them. Pokemon health bars have 3 different colors usually. It's green for when they have pretty good health. Once they get to half, they go to yellow health. And once they get low, their health bar turns red. If you want the best chance to catch them, you want to get them down to red health. And so on. Basic rule of thumb, the lower you get their health, the higher chance you have to catch them. And also the better Pokeballs you use will give you better chances of catching them too. So we're just gonna go ahead and beat them down a little bit. More like difficult and fancy Pokemon also tend to be harder to catch. We're getting low ourselves, so we're gonna go ahead and try and catch it. So to catch it, you're gonna go to your bag that we said before, the little blue symbol here. You're gonna go to Pokeballs, and any you have in your inventory will show up here, and you just left click it. And so for your turn, instead of attacking, you will throw. Anytime you use an item, it takes your turn to do so. It's going to go ahead and try and catch it. And if you see right here, we captured Sentret. We got some XP, we got some achievements, all good and jazzy. Our Pokemon leveled up, and if you see here, your Dan gained 40 XP. Dan just learned Smokescreen, so we got a new move. And our stats went up right there is what happened. And now if you see over here, we have a brand new Sentret. Look at that. Oh, there's one more thing I should have said. On this main page, you can see their experience. So now Dan has 10 leftover experience, and he leveled up. He needs 57 more XP to level up, and he's now level 6. Dynamax, go ahead and ignore it. You aren't going to have to deal with it for quite a while. And then finally, every Pokemon has an ability. This is usually just the kind of passive thing that happens. So, for example, Dan, power up fire type move. So any move that is fire type, it will do extra damage. If we go over to, we can use these arrows to switch between our Pokemon. If we go over to Sentret, it prevents other Pokemon from lowering its accuracy with moves. It has its own moves as well. But now we have multiple Pokemon. We can send them out. In order to switch between what Pokemon you have, do you see how Dan, right now, his little picture has a blue light behind it? If we use our arrow keys up and down, we can change which one we have highlighted. So right now I'm on this. If I hit down on my arrow keys, I can go to Sentret. And I can send that one out. And we can have them both out at the same time. Look at this good boy. That's pretty much all for catching Pokemon. Better balls give you a better chance to catch. Lower health helps you out. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything, but I'm pretty sure that's it. Ugh. Alright, we've covered fighting, we've captured capturing Pokemon, we've made Pokeballs, blah blah blah. Healing, we already covered. PC. This one will be real quick. Eventually, you might get over 6 Pokemon. I'm going to use a command to just give myself instead of catching more. Don't worry about the command itself. Give. Let's go ahead and give ourselves more Sentret. So notice, if you look, once chat clears away, I believe it's F3 and D to clear that. All my slots are filled up. I have 6 whole Pokemon on my team. You cannot have more than that. If I go ahead and give myself another one, notice it says, your party is full. Sentret was sent to your PC, your computer. Well, I don't have one of those. So what you're going to want to do is either go to spawn, where there will be one set up, or you can make a PC. Just like you craft anything, we're going to go here. Look at PC. It takes more of those aluminum plates, some glass panes, redstone lamp, and redstone. We know how to make all that. I'm just going to go ahead and spawn one in, so you don't have to go through me slowly crafting things again, because I'm bad. You make one of those, you place it down, boom, bada, bang, you got a computer. Neat thing you can do with both of these, if we grab some dye, you can right-click to dye them whatever color you want. Quick little thing, but it's cute. If you notice that 6th one we caught that was too much for a party is now here, and you can move them about in here. You can right-click, you can look at them, you can do all sorts of jazz. If you have any Pokemon you don't want, you can throw them in the garbage. You can change your boxes. You can do all sorts of things. You can search here to find a certain Pokemon by name. You can rename your box by hitting R, and if you hit the W button, if you hit the W, you can change the wallpaper of the box. Whole bunch of good little jazz. That's the entire PC. Almost done, I promise. Thank you for sticking around so long. I hope this has been helpful. Ask questions if you have them. Ugh. Next little bit is, this is also going to be your main guide when trying to figure things out. It's very slow and doesn't do very much for you. But if you hit the in button, you have a quest menu. Look at that, it's cute. Your very first quest is going to be to find a village. It can be any village. I don't see any right nearby, so I'm going to use more command magic to make this go fast. I'm going to do /locate. Village. You won't have access to this. You're just going to have to manually walk and find one. Isn't that fun? So TP -248. I think if I click this, no, okay. 248 100 -440. And we're going to go ahead and fall right down onto a village. Look at that. Amazing. Once we're in here, it's going to go ahead and... I found a village game. Game? Maybe I need to talk to a villager? Game, I promise you, I found one. There we go. Okay. You're going to want to walk into this building here. I'll explain what these buildings are. It will give you a little quest reward, and you're going to go ahead and get some more. As you go, you'll get more quests, and eventually, some NPCs, these little guys, if you notice, the villagers are all replaced with these guys. You can right-click on them, certain dialogue, blah, blah, blah. They will sometimes have exclamation marks above their head, and that means they have a quest for you. You can right-click on them, they'll give you your quest, you can solve it, complete it, you'll get rewards, all cool, all jazzy. Pretty standard RPG game stuff. I thought this dude was sneaking about. Whew, okay. There's a few things different about every single village. You'll notice this building with the red roof. This is a Poke Center. You can go in here, you can grab some nice little loot from here that you can use in battle. These will like heal a Pokemon, revive it. These will give you more power. It does all sorts of good bits. Not gonna explain that. You'll also notice there's a healer in here. You cannot pick this up without Silk Touch, so do not break it unless you have Silk Touch, please. It just will hinder you and you will be sad. There's also this blue building. Also, I think you might actually be able to talk to this lady and she might heal your Pokemon. Yeah, if you speak to her, she'll heal your Pokemon, or you can use the machine yourself. Time, set, day. I couldn't pre-make into the world and set things up because I needed to show you choosing your first Pokemon, and I don't feel like editing a video because I don't want to learn that. I have enough on my plate. This blue building, it is a shop. It has 2 shopkeepers inside. Once you beat trainers, you'll get money. Trainers you can just find out in the world. Not going to explain it. Pretty self-explanatory. You throw a Pokemon at them, you fight them. You can buy stuff here. You can buy stuff from this lady. What isn't that great? Oh, look, you can buy Pokeballs from her. Isn't that fantastic? There's also vending machines. You can buy some things from them. I don't need to explain how shopping works to you. And the last thing that most buildings will have, or most villages will have, is they will oftentimes have a building that this one doesn't have, actually. It will sometimes be a landmark, sometimes be a building. It can be all sorts of things, but they can have gyms, which you can use to fight and get fancy badges, which makes you feel good about yourself. Oh, hey, here's a quest. I'll show this off very quickly. They're yellow. If you stick around, eventually they'll get quests. If they have a purple quest, that lets you do some cool things, but don't worry about it for now. If we right-click on here, boom. Can you visit the inn to tell me about it afterwards? You can either accept it or say, I'm a little busy. Pity, maybe another time. Or, yes, I can. And if you do that, it'll show up in your quest log. The inn? What? And you can abandon or track it. Thing to note, you do have to go back here, so try and keep in mind where you pick up the quest from. Holy shit, we're almost done. Hey, look, the very last thing I want to explain. These little holes right here that you can find, these are called raid dens. You can do team fights here. It's a bit more advanced. You won't deal with it for a while. Sometimes they'll have giant glowing beacons coming out of them. If they have those, you can go ahead and right-click on them. You can also use a wishing stone, which you can get from various sources. And if you can right-click, you can bring it out. It'll have a black image of the Pokemon, but it won't say what it is, so you have to use your knowledge or just kind of go for it blind. I have horrible Pokemon, so I'm going to die here, but if you right-click on them, you can begin a fight with them. You can either start solo, and you'll get NPCs filled in for you, just AI, and they usually have pretty bad Pokemon. Or you can wait for other people. You're going to pick just one of your Pokemon to bring in with you. You cannot bring multiple. And honestly, you can look up on the wiki how these work, because I'm not explaining them anymore. But that's what these are if you see them. If you don't like them because you think they're ugly, you can also break them with a pickaxe or with a big axe. Okay, I just gave you so much information. And because of that, I'm going to give you what I should have put at the front of this video. The most important advice I can give you is if you go to options and you go to your controls, you can search in this button right here is fantastic. It is the Open Wiki button. what this will let you do is, if there is anything you want to know about, you can hit the K button. And I'm going to need to switch my source really fast. Hello, we're on full screen now. Look at that. Oh my god, we're at 30 minutes. Jesus Christ. This is the Pixelmon wiki. It is so chock full of information that you could ever need, and it gives a way better guide than I ever could. It's so filled and wonderful. It's a little weird to kind of navigate on. Like, it has a search bar here, which is nice. But let's say that I wanted to know about Sentret, that Pokemon I caught earlier. It'll pull up Sentret. If you type it in, it will give more information than you can possibly use. But most importantly, you can see where they spawn, what they drop, their stats, what certain Pokemon and typings are strong against other type. So it tells you that here. Look that up on your own time. But it's pretty much, think that, like, hey, fire is strong against grass. It tells you what moves they learn. It tells you everything. It also is good for, let's go to Pokeball. Oh wow, it's a Pokeball. It tells you how to make it step by step. It shows you what you can use it with. It shows you old things that you don't need to know about. It's such a wonderful wiki. Please use it for everything you possibly could. That is the end of my list. That is everything I came to teach you. If you made it through this, dear God, you're braver than I am. But I hope you enjoy, and yeah, feel free to ask questions, use the wiki. To get to the wiki, you can search almost anything and then Pixelmon after, and the wiki will show up. So, for example, I don't know, I want to know more about healing stations. Pixelmon. Just type in Pixelmon at the end, scroll down, you can go to the Pixelmon wiki. Boom, you're right there. It tells you how to make it, how to use it, everything you need. Commands that don't exist, because I don't have them enabled. I probably should have. Oh well. That's it. We're done. Enjoy. Thank you for sticking around. Use the wiki. Play the game. Enjoy the server. Ask questions. That's all. We're done. Goodbye. Whew.